Ladies and gentlemen of the Action Army, what is going on, and welcome to another episode of Answers for Athletes. In today's video, I would like to have an intimate conversation with all of you. Somewhat of a different type of video for this Answers for Athletes channel. Nobody asked me a question. I just have this topic on my mind because it is very fresh on my mind at this point in time. And the topic is the number one lesson that every man needs to learn. And I would like to start this lesson by telling all of you a story. Now, understand that when I tell you this story, this is the definition of first world problems. I understand that this is really not a big deal at all. Like, this is not, we don't live in a third world country where you can't find clean water, you're hungry. Like, this is first world problems. Like, at the end of the day, like, I need to stop bitching about this and just move on with my life. However, I do think it brings a very valuable lesson. So let me tell you this story. Last night, my high school basketball team plays in our annual tip-off tournament. Now, we beat the other team pretty bad, not that bad. We beat them by 22 points. It was 81 to 59. But we wanted to record the game, and I forgot my tripod, right? I brought the camera, but I forgot my tripod. And I texted my fiance and I said, "Hey, I forgot my tripod. Can you bring my tripod to the game?" Because in case we get any highlights, in case some of the kids on my team get dunks, I could use that for their highlights. I could use that for my own business because I train all these kids. So the kid that I always talk about on my team that I helped him gain 14 inches on his vertical jump, he's going to get his dunks, right? He gets dunks all the time. Pretty much every game, like, that kid's dunking the ball. But there's another kid, a white kid on my team named Fish, and that's his last name, Fisher, but we call him Fish. He had the wildest dunk that I have ever seen in my entire life in person. So we get a fast break. The point guard steals the ball. The defender's like running with him. The defender thinks like he missed the layup. You guys have seen this before, but he didn't miss the layup. He threw it off the backboard to Fish. Fish grabs it with two hands. The kid went back to try to grab the ball. Fish dunked on him with two hands, like alley-oop off the backboard. The gym went wild. Like, security had to come out. It literally was nuts, right? But my fiance had forgot to bring the tripod. She's bringing the baby. She got a bunch of stuff to do. She's trying to remember. I told her to bring Band-Aids because the kid cut his eye. Like, she's trying to remember all the shit that I forgot to bring. And then, so she forgets the tripod. And I'm like, all right, so we don't have a tripod. So I tell another kid on my team, "Hey, could you record this video?" And he's a freshman. He's on JV. He was sitting on the bench, kind of like recording. You know, it's like his hands all floppy. Like, it's just not a good video. He's like watching the game while the camera's over here. And I noticed like he wasn't a very good videographer at all. So in the second half, I'm like, we're beating them real bad. Just stop recording. I'm like, it's probably really annoying for you to have to record and sit here and hold it. Like, you want to watch the game too. I was like, you don't have to record anymore. So long story short, we did not get this video of Fish's dunk. And might I remind you that this, I'm not exaggerating. If I ever do get the video, the other team will not send me the video. I asked their coach, but I think they're a little butthurt about the way that we finished the game and like we continued to score until the end and then slow the ball down and like, which I understand. Like, I've been on the other end of that plenty of times. So they won't send me it. Fish gets this crazy dunk that all of us want. Like, this dunk would be very beneficial for him to have for his college highlight tape. It'd be very beneficial for me to have. The other kids like want to post it on their social media, but I can understand why the other coach would not want to send us this dunk. Number one, it's a game of them getting beat pretty bad. It's a game of one of his kids literally getting posterized worse than any poster I've seen. Like, this is like an NBA type poster. Like, this was bad. And then I'm sitting there this morning and he won't send me the game. and I'm getting aggravated and I want to blame everyone. This is the lesson that I want everybody to understand, which most of you probably already understand this, but just by me saying it again, it might just, repetition is the mother of skill. So just by you hearing it again, it may be beneficial for you as well as it is for me. So I want to blame everyone. I want to blame the other coach. I want to blame my fiance for not bringing the tripod. I want to blame the kid on my team for not being able to film well. I want to blame everyone else. So of those three people, the other coach, my fiance, and the kid that didn't know how to film, of those three, I'm going to ask you this question. Whose fault is it? Whose fault is it out of these three people? Somebody's fault. Which one of these three is at fault? None of them. I am at fault. It is my fault. I could have remembered the tripod. I could have emphasized to the kid on my team, hey, don't film with a floppy hand from the end of the bench. Go up in the bleachers and film and make sure that you're watching the camera as you film. I could have told another kid to film that knew how to film and has filmed before. There's infinite things that I could have done. Like, I could have respectfully asked for the film so that my guys could have that for their highlight tapes. Not just the dunk, but everything else that happened in the game. Keelan, the kid who gained 14 inches on his vertical, had a great game. Fish had 29 points. Like, there's so many things that I could have done. And this doesn't just have to do with this basketball game. This is your entire life. So even me at 33 years old, leading a bunch of athletes, leading a bunch of high school players on my team, leading my newborn son, I have to be a leader. I already know to take responsibility for everything in my life. But this morning I was just so irritated and I wanted to point the finger at somebody else so bad as to why it didn't happen the way that we needed to happen, as to why we didn't have that game on film. Such a small, like I said, first world problems. It really doesn't matter at the end of the day. But in my head, I was so irritated at all of the circumstances that came together. But even in 33, understanding this message, it was hard for me to just say, dude, stop. It is all your fault. And not it's all your fault in a bad way. It's all your fault. Take responsibility, dude. Don't blame your fiance. Don't blame this other coach. Don't blame, stop pushing the power that you have over your own life into somebody else's hands. Stop acting like a fucking victim. You sound I had to look in the mirror bro, you sound like a bitch. You literally sound like a fucking bitch. You're soft right now. There's real problems. So I need all of you to understand, which most of you know. I just wanted to reiterate again that you are responsible for everything that happens in your life. We are all born into a different set of circumstances. But after that, as soon as you gain the consciousness and the knowledge that you have the ability to mold your own life into whatever you want it to be, then you have to continue to act like that on a day-to-day basis and remember that all of the choices that you make have consequences. Some of those consequences are good, some of those consequences are bad. But your relationship, it's because of you. Your body, your fitness, your vertical jump, it's because of you. Your bank account, it's because of you. Everything is because of you, right? Either you trained hard and smart or you didn't. Either you were smart with your money or you weren't. Either you made good relationship choices or you didn't. So I've been in a relationship before where the girl, my high school girlfriend, she lost feelings for me. She broke up with me. Whose fault is that? It's nobody's fault, but I put myself into the position where I got really comfortable. I stopped working on myself to a certain extent, and I was no longer the individual that I was no longer her dream guy We all talk about, oh, I can't wait to get my dream girl. Well, when are you going to be your dream girl's dream guy? It's up to you. Everything is up to you. So I just wanted to come on here and talk about that. I do think that is, if not the number one, it is very, very close to the number one lesson that all men, actually everybody, need to learn. It's the lesson that I teach to my athletes, my players on my high school team. Take responsibility. Don't point fingers at him or her as to why things didn't work out your way. What was the result? The result was the result. Don't point fingers. Take responsibility. Even if it wasn't entirely your fault, you need to act as if it was, because chances are there's something that you could have done to change the outcome. Anyways, that's it for this video. I know it was a different type of video, but I really did want to vent and get that off my chest. Leave your feedback down below, because I understand that was I being soft? Man, was I being like it was bad. It got really bad. But anyways, like this video if you like it. Leave me some comment down below, some feedback, because I would like to hear your feedback. But anyways, I'll see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Peace.